Coach, thank you for joining us. Coach, I'm sure a frustrating 90 minutes for you this evening. Can you please give us your reflection of the match?
Thank you, Rajay. Good evening, members of the media. I think in terms of the application, we did well. But it is not only about the application. What is important is the product. And playing a game like this, we were looking forward to win this game, to score goals. What we have been working on, we could see coming out. But the biggest challenge we had today was not converting the chances we created. We had better ball possession, better tactical movements in going forward. And also we had aggressive last third entries. But the unfortunate part was the final decision-making of the player on the ball in terms of putting the ball behind the net. I think the overall performance of the team, it is something that we can take positives out of it going forward. But I think we are all disappointed that we did not win a game that we have worked so hard to win. And I think it also very important for us when we go back to leave the spirit, because you don't create chances and you don't score. But the most important thing is to have a strong mentality going into the next DSTV matches.
Thank you. Now we open to members of the media to ask questions. We have a roving mic. You know the drill. Name of your media house and your question.
Thank you. Johannesburg from Far Post. Coach, you gave George a restart. Your thoughts about his performance and what does it bring to the team?
I think his performance has been very good, even from last season. But the unfortunate part, he had too many injuries. That also retarded his progress in terms of his game time. And in the preseason, George was one of the best players we had in the preseason. But he could not play the matches or the preparation matches we had in the preseason because he was injured. And I think it is also good when you give a player confidence to say you are rewarded for the hard work you put at training. For the past 2 matches, George has been coming in as a sub, and he gave us a lot of balance in terms of his tactical understanding of the game. And today we needed to play with 2 number 8s, the 3 midfielders with Yusuf helping us as a 6. So George was good for that profile to play as a 6, as an 8, and also helping us in attack. So I think he had a very good game, but you could tell that in terms of his match fitness, he's still lacking. But it was a good run for him to play over 60 minutes.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, from the staff. Coach, like you said, it was disappointing result-wise, but how important would it be for you to take positives from this game going into the 2 matches against SuperSport and Molefi Sundowns? Having to manage that, we built from this game and also manage to get those goals in those matches.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is for us to understand the 3 types of results. We played this game looking to have a win, and when you don't win a game, yes, you are disappointed, but you also look at, like you said, the positives. The positives, like I said, we had very good ball possession. We had very good tactical movements going forward and in shifting play and changing point of attack. And for them to get into those goal-scoring opportunities, it's hard work. It's for them to understand our approach in attack. So those are the positives. But I think the other thing which is very important is the challenge we experienced today coachable. I feel it's coachable because when you talk of composure, you have to work on composure in small spaces, in tight spaces, how do you deal with those situations? So if you look at Ash in particular, if you look at Saili, if you look at Gonzalez, if you look at Moody, I think they worked very hard to get into those goal-scoring areas. But the positive will always be, let's go back to training. We did well. Unfortunately, we did not score goals, but you have to work throughout the season to create more goals and score more goals.
Magdalena.
Coach, first leg of MTN 8, Gonzalez came on as a sub, and then today he started. And I remember in that post-match conference you said you needed to lay that foundation for him because he did not play a pre-season with you. So based on the performance today, would you say that he's slowly but surely getting into the rhythm of the game?
Firstly, he's a quality player. That is why the club brought him to play for the club. And even when he came against Sundowns, I think he did a very good job. He's our point of reference, whether it's set plays, whether it's combination play that we are deploying on the day. He's that player, because when we started the season, Ranga was injured, so we did not have any number 9 that can always be that reference point. But I think for the past 2 weeks working with him, he's a very enthusiastic type of a player. He's looking forward to be on the pitch, and he got a very good personality because he connects very well with the players. But I think it's work in progress for him, because he still has to understand the league, he still has to understand the opponents in terms of applying himself properly. But I think he had a very good game today. It is just unfortunate for him not to have scored.
Yeah.
Yes, Coach Vele from SABC. Yes, maybe you didn't score and you didn't win, but it's now 3 clean sheets in the last 4 matches. And how big of a role is, because I think in the other presser, you were asked about playing Kwiniga ahead of Frosler. And when you look at their profile, the other one is a wing back, the other one more of a natural right back. This back four that you are playing, would you say it's giving you what you've been looking for?
I think the most important thing is for a tactical cohesion that you build in the players. The understanding. When you build a team, there has to be that understanding between players. There has to be that understanding as an individual in terms of what are the tactical demands out of possession and in possession. And I think when you look at how they played in the past matches and even today, there is a very clear understanding between them. But like you said, Kwiniga gives us more balance in defense. That is why when we wanted to take the game to Royal AM, we brought in Riff, who will always be giving us more options going forward. And it is just unfortunate, again, the word unfortunate. It was just for Riff to get more involved in the game. And also, I think our possession game in attack became better with Riff coming in. But I think they've done very well defensively. And like I said, it is not only about our defense, it is also about the whole team. If we press properly from the front, if we deal very well with the midfield defending, and then you go into our defensive line and the goalkeeper, I think that is a very important understanding that you need to develop in your players.
Chabala.
Joseph from Sports. Coach, from what I saw looking at the body language of the fans and the players alike, I mean, you guys had a beautiful game today, you know, barring the goalless draw. Would you say that out of 100%, how far are you getting the team to where you want it to be? And looking at the scoring chances that were there, I mean, clear-cut chances were missed, the goalpost was hit a few times, and all of that. Would you say that the team is getting to where you want it to be, and how far are you, and looking at the personnel that you have, and looking at the opponent that you played today, who actually today gave more respect, unlike the other times that they just come randomly at Kaizer Chiefs, but they played a more consecutive type of game?
I think I should also credit the players. I should also credit the team. But if I start saying 20%, 40%, 80%, I think I'll be giving a very wrong data in terms of our performances. Like I said, it's work in progress. Today you see a player doing well, the next day is another player doing well, so ultimately we'll have everybody doing well. Because it is not only about the team performance. It firstly starts with the individual, to say, do I understand my roles in possession, out of possession? Can I defend 1v1 situations? Can I read into the situation and still be a better player? So I think they're doing very well. And I think all of us, the technical team, the players, there is that cohesion, there is that brotherhood that is developing in the team. So as soon as you get that buy-in from everybody in the team, I think you will have a very good season ahead.
Coach, the number 9 position, the striker, has been a problematic position for the club for many years. Warren Nutkovic's first season. But Gonzalez, how does he differ from Chivaviro and maybe even Bimeni Mana as a target man? And is there any impetus into playing to their strengths if he's a traditional target man, to give him opportunities to dominate aerially?
I'll always make reference to how Man City used to play without a striker. They were still very effective. And when I look at the profile of Chivaviro and Gonzalez, basically we are not going to play a game where we have got a striker who's standing there all the time, who's helping the centre-backs to defend the goal side. So with him, we have got somebody who's very mobile. Somebody, when he's on the sides, he becomes a winger. He can take players on, and he's very strong on the ball. So I think it's a very good mixture in terms of us doing a proper profile of him. So I think he will help us a lot going forward, because it is not only about him being a target man, it's about him being a reference point. Reference points can be on the side, reference point can be in the midfield, reference point can be at the top. But the most important thing is how you move the defenders to create those scoring opportunities. So I think today he did well, because there were times where he was facing the goals and he tried to take shots at goal and score. But I think over time he will be a player with Ranga that will definitely help us going forward.
Okay. Let's move this side. 2 questions. 2 last questions, and we wrap up.
Coach, Kotsani and Dushabalala were notable absentees from today's match. Any update on why they were not part of the match today?
I think we are doing a very important tactical rotation of our players, and also it depends on the approach for the day. When you look at Kotsani and Dushabalala, they've been playing all the games that we had this season. And unfortunately, the level of freshness was a very important part to look at. So we're giving fresher players an opportunity today. So Mdu, Dansani and Potsani, they have been part of the training session this week. And even today, they are training and they are preparing for the next matches. So a rotation is important, because if ever you don't get to play for too long and then you have got challenges, either suspension or injuries, then you have a player who's not ready to play. So I think they have done very well in the past matches, but today we gave other players a chance, and I think they also did very well. So it is a fair competition that we have for the first 11 or to be in the first 20.
Coach, Colin from Josie Captions, Josie FM. I just want to find out, Coach, if we look at how you played, even how you came back to the second half, one would say there's no brain that can go to the technical side. We've done everything according to the book. At what point do we say to players, it's all in your hands, where they can apply critical thinking and play with intensity of getting a goal?
Yeah, I think there are tactical objectives, and there are tactical objectives you will get from a small-sided game. Small-sided game is high intensity. You have to think very fast. You have to score and be able to defend. So I think with the game we played today, we can always go back and help them to have more of intensity in possession, of which I think the opponents applied a very deep block, And in applying a very deep block, the plan was to have a quick circulation of the ball, as we did. But unfortunately, we could not get a product that we were looking for. But as for the players, in terms of the performances today, we'll always be giving a technical report, individual assessment, and then we'll be able to work on whoever player had a situation. We'll always make a clips of those situations, and then we'll help him. He will have meetings with our analysis team, and then they will be able to help him in relation to how we want to play.
Well, good to see. Thank you very much for your time this evening.